And we always start these shows out, Jonathan, on a lighthearted note. We call it politicking in America while living under MAGA. And if I didn't have Claire here, I would call it politicking while being black in America, where we air out petty grievances that get on our nerves. But before I say that, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something about JB. He is a staunch advocate for healthcare. Now, before I read his profile and his bio, I knew he was a staunch advocate for healthcare, because if you go and see his social media, it looks like this. If the Incredible Hulk could go to Wakanda and have sex with one of the Dora Milaje and spit out a baby, it would be this brother right here. Look at this dude, man. Look at them delts. Look at them pecs. Look at health is obviously key to him, and we will definitely get there to health and how he takes care of himself and how he wants to see America do it in a minute. JB, you get first crack at this. What is your petty grievance that you're having to deal with while politicking and living under MAGA?
While living in Georgia, I don't know if you guys ever been. Traffic is something we live in. I probably have lived maybe 2 years of my life in traffic, especially in Atlanta. We did the LA and thought, hey, let's get 8 lanes, yet we still have traffic. So that is probably the most annoying thing, especially that we have a great subway system, but it's yet to expand to go to the other districts or throughout Georgia, unfortunately. So that's a lot of politicking, and that's something that is something I'm here to change, because, again, I don't want anyone living in most of their life in traffic, at least a year, 2 years. That's something that's major that needs to be fixed.
Jonathan, I grew up in the DC area, and I can tell you that I've spent probably at least 5 years of my life in traffic. So I hear you.
And JB, for a little while, I was a truck driver for about 6 months. Guess what made me quit? The traffic in Atlanta, the traffic in DC, and the traffic in New York. I said, why am I testing this out? I don't want to own a truck. I don't want to touch a truck. Hell, I didn't even want to touch my children's big wheels because it had so many wheels on it. No, I'm with you. I completely feel you. And we do need to do something. And hopefully JB can be part of the team that can give us some relief, especially in Georgia. And maybe he can set a precedence that gets the whole nation motivated. So Claire, what? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, JB.
No, Claire can go. That's fine.
Claire, you know I'm anxious to hear, what are you politicking on this week?
You know, I'm always bringing some heat, but literally this time I am over the southern, and not just the heat, the stickiness and the humidity. How am I supposed to fight fascism when it's 90 degrees and 90% humidity? How am I supposed to be calm and cool and collected under such conditions? Anyway, it's reaching that part of June where we're transitioning from some nice 70, 80 degree days, and we're hitting those 90s. And Lamont knows this, but Jonathan, I'm a waitress as I work my way through school, and I have to wear this all black, long sleeve, long pants getup. And every damn time I get in my car, I'm like, God, I wish I had a remote start. This is awful. So anyway, over the heat. Love summer, but over the heat.
I understand. I like to take it as a thought of good. I'm good under heat, under pressure. Georgia's southern, step out the door, I'm sweating. I long sleeves and everything. I'm used to it. So
you're like, I got this. This is nothing for me.
Nothing really shocks me anymore.
Love it. Cool and collected in all circumstances.
I jokingly tell people, as you can see, I'm pretty dark. And I always tell people I'm allergic to heat. Damn it. My skin soak up the heat rays as if I was Superman, but I don't get the powers he gets. I do not like heat. If my wife would let me, I would move somewhere where it snows 24/7, but she's from Michigan, Detroit. So she graduated med school there. She was like, we're not going nowhere where it's cold. I'd rather deal with the heat than the cold. So I'm just stuck, and, happy wife, you know the rest.
Yeah.
Lamont, recently, I have a black brother, not by blood, but he is we also have a black dog, and recently I took him for a walk and he was struggling the whole time. He kept turning around. And so I sent in the family group chat. I was like, man, it must be hard being black in the summer. And my brother goes, you have no idea. And I was like, I really don't.
It's very funny. So where I live, there's a state rep named Josh Bonner, and he's a white guy, great guy. And it's funny, when he heard about me running for Congress, everyone's like, oh, is your brother or someone in your family running? And I introduced myself, and he's like, oh, you're my family member running. And I was like, yeah. He's like, can't we see we're related? And I was like, yeah. I just stayed in the sun a little bit longer. That's just how it goes. So.
Oh,
just
man, that's a good one.
That moment. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, little vitamin D never hurt anybody, right?
Exactly.
So I'm glad you two got the funny ones out. I'm glad that y'all was funny, because mine might be funny, but it's sad funny. And so what I'm politicking while living under MAGA as a black man is the utter hypocrisy of MAGA and two of the top MAGA sites on the planet Earth, Donald Trump and Elon Musk. I'm politicking because their hypocrisy about Joe Biden needing to step down because he was old is deafening, because there are rumored reports, none of them substantiated, so I gave that quota, that Donald Trump's ass is so old he shits in his pants and he wears a Depends like my grandmother. Then the rumor is that Elon Musk is so piped out on ketamine that he pee his pants, and my 1.5-year-old don't pee in his pants. It's probably trained already. So the utter ridiculousness of y'all trying to say Joe Biden is an old, unfeathered man when you guys are having these older issues that you pretend like you don't have to, in essence, project what's really going on. I'm politicking on that. JB, tell me if I'm too harsh.
Oh, not at all. I find it very difficult. I tell people, if you're 65 and up, you can't have a commercial fighter pilot. So that's another thing. Being the older you get, I understand you get the wisdom, but at a certain point, your cognitive starts to decline and things start to happen. And are you really that competent to run the strongest country in the world? As well as, let's be real, Elon, he's a billionaire. He can't relate to anyone. He will never relate to anyone. So why is he in our government? Why is he even over here? I mean,
he's also South African.
Exactly. I saw a funny thing. This is the only time I've ever said this, but if I saw Elon, I would say, go back to your country, go back to Africa. But that's just that one thing. It's because they can't relate. They're rich. They didn't earn their money. It's nepotism. These are people that they only are here for their own interests. We need to call that out.
Exactly. Claire, am I too harsh in that critique of these people that are hungry hypocrites?
There's nothing, almost nothing that I hate more.
Sorry, I don't like to use the word hate, dislike more than a hypocrite.
If you're going to
Stand on your business, stand on your damn business. People going back on their word. And if you're going to go back on your word, admit that you've done it. But this whole shady business of saying one thing and then denying you ever said it or did it. We're in a day and age where we have proof. We have a video of you saying it. We have evidence showing that you have gone back on what you said, or you've accused someone else of something and now you're doing it. And people will be given that evidence and just go,
I don't know what you're talking about.
The gaslighting, we've talked about this actually on our first show, but yeah, the gaslighting is ridiculous. And like you said, JB, I'm tired of being represented by people who have no idea what the average American experience is, whether you're upper middle class, working class, whether you're white, black, Hispanic, Asian.
None of us have any type of lifestyle
Style that relates to a billionaire. So why are they the ones running our country?
Right. Well said, Claire. Very well said. And ladies and gentlemen, again, if you have something that you're burning on, any petty grievance, please don't forget to subscribe, come to the channel. Don't forget to go to the podcast. Leave us a voice message. We will play some of these on the air. And if you have questions for JB, leave it here too so we can usher them to him.